Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for stopping in. This right here is the Gen 3 JX3 Hybrid, brought to the market in 2017, fully patented. There is not another offering like this guy right here. If you're looking for unrivaled, unmatched comfort, this might be the ticket for you. I'm going to be adding to this video chapters so that you can easily navigate through this video. If there's a certain feature that you might want to see, all you have to do is scroll through the bottom and it will highlight what I am talking about on that particular chapter. The first thing I want to note is the JX3 Hybrid comes in the box fully assembled apart from the tree fork assembly. You will find the tree fork assembly in a yellow envelope between the frame and mesh support. In the envelope, you'll also find the tree fork itself, the knob to tighten the fork into position, a bolt, a nut, and a 5mm Allen wrench for assembly. Now, this chapter is important because I want to talk to you about my initial impressions, my first impressions when I opened up the box and pulled the Hybrid out. The very first thought that went through my mind was, what in the world is this piece of junk? You have to understand, I left mobile hunting with an XOP air raid that weighed 14 pounds plus 5 Lone Wolf sticks, the full sticks, and I did everything in my power to go as lightweight as I possibly could. When I pulled this out, again, I had no frame of reference with any tree stand that was like this, and I had no frame of reference with any ultralight tree saddle as well. There is no frame of reference. I didn't know what to think. And that is something I want to point out about the JX3 Hybrid, is there is no other frame of reference. There's really nothing that you can truly, honestly compare this side by side. We will do our best to kind of highlight some of the pros and cons by comparing it to a tree stand or even a saddle, but in all technicality, you cannot compare this to anything else that is out there on the market. One thing that has been interesting to me to watch is, ever since I installed the Taj Mahal here in my backyard, this telephone pole 17 foot high from the ground to the top, I've invited friends over to come over and to shoot, to practice, to test out gear. And several times with different groups of people, I have brought the JX3 Hybrid out and I set it down to get their impressions. And without fail, their initial impressions was exactly like mine. I had some of them tell me, I'll never touch that thing. I'll never hunt out of that thing. What is that? It just, when you look at this, it's hard to comprehend what is going on. It's hard to comprehend an all-in-one system. And I kind of laughed at this situation because the same is true with me. If I would have went based on my initial or first impressions, I would have never considered this thing, or I would have never given it a fair shake. And since I started giving it a fair shake, I look back and say, I am glad I did, because what seemed to be cumbersome, heavy, out of the normal or ordinary from what I'm used to, all of that stuff has completely faded. And now, as I'm getting familiar with it, I am really starting to enjoy the JX3. I had a few guys sit here and say, I'm not going to try it out, or I would never hunt with it. I said, just try it out. It's free. You're not paying anything. They got in it, they sat down, and immediately you could see on their countenance that their impressions changed when they sat in this hybrid saddle. And that's exactly what they said. Wow, this thing is super comfortable. So the purpose of this video is to help minimize the learning curve that is associated with a completely different system than what you might be used to. It's also going to be to highlight all of the features that comes with the JX3 Hybrid. And then of course, just to help bring notice to a company that is offering something that nobody else is offering. Let's quickly cover some of the specs and the features of the JX3. The first we'll talk about is the price tag. The JX3 Hybrid comes in at $439. Both the tree tether and Lineman's rope are 11mm, and they have a 5-inch sewn eye, also a 7mm sewn prusik loop with a carabiner. The carabiner is rated at 25 kN. If you were to buy these ropes separately, the cost would be $114.96. Now, this is definitely something to consider when looking at the price, because initially it seems high, but again, it includes the rope value. Most all of the other saddle hunting companies have a kit. For example, the new Trophy Line Venatic, if you look at the kit with the ropes and the Venatic, I think it's coming in somewhere at $474. You have the tethered kit, the Phantom Elite, without ropes, that's coming in at $400 for the regular. And then you add ropes on top of that. The Latitude Outdoors Method 2 kit, that's coming in at like $449. So when comparing apples to apples, you can see that the price tag of the JX3 is pretty comparable to all of the other kits that are on the market. If you take out the rope value, then the JX3 is coming in at like $324. And you can see right here, there is a lot going on for $324 as compared to, let's just say, the Trophy Line Venatic saddle itself. The Hybrid comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. In case it's not for you, within that 30 days, you're able to ship it back and get your money back in full return. The Hybrid has a 300-pound weight rating, and it also weighs itself at about 11.5 pounds without the ropes included. The Hybrid comes with a bridge, and built into the bridge is a locking carabiner. The Hybrid is an all-in-one system. Everything you need is right here. First, you have the main pack frame itself and the shoulder straps. The main frame itself is very similar to a military frame system. It's wrapped with a mesh covering which keeps and provides airflow behind your back and in between the frame itself. The shoulder straps are a contoured EVA foam strap. They can be easily adjusted in the length, or they can be shortened very, very easily. All you have to do to lengthen the shoulder straps is to lift up on the buckle and give yourself some slack. To tighten it, all you have to do is then pull down on the shoulder straps, and you can see how that will draw the frame up to your back, up to the top of your shoulder, and also tighten the whole system down. Built into the shoulder straps is a sternum connection point. It connects the shoulder straps in place as you're walking into the woods. I really like this feature. You can slide it up and down very, very easily. There are Molle attachment points up and down the length of each shoulder strap, and also 2 plastic D-loops, which aid in attaching accessories like the JX3 hand muff or the bino harness, or even dump pouches. The Hybrid comes with a waist buckle and leg straps. Both of these have Cobra style buckles, affirmative clicks, and easy to use. You can also use the leg straps to secure your climbing sticks or whatever you're carrying into the woods. The last main portion of the Hybrid is the seat portion itself and also the bridge. In the transport mode, the seat portion is flipped up and secured to the back of the frame via this hook and the hook bracket. Once the seat is deployed, it is supported by these 2 webbing straps, which also have Molle webbing attachment points, but they also have your bridge connection. That basically summarizes the features of the JX3 saddle. Earlier, I mentioned that the leg straps also double as load carrying straps, and I want to show you just in quick demonstration while the JX3 is hanging here on the tree. Essentially, this is in transport mode, and when you go to carry your pack in or whatever it is, you can pack gear in between the actual frame and the seat portion itself. And if you know anything about external frames and carrying loads, you want all of the weight to be as close to your back as you can. And so that becomes a nice handy feature. What you see here is the leg straps now are stretched around. I got plenty of play here to expand that if I had to, but they attach up here at the very top of the frame itself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let these off, as you see here, and of course, because of that hook and that bracket, the seat is still staying where it needs to stay. When I would get to the tree, I could just reach up over the top of my shoulders, unclick those leg straps, and then with my 2 hands, I'll reach back and I'll lift up the seat and I'll go ahead and drop that down. Now you can see here that I have also their carrying backpack. This thing I'm going to do a completely different video altogether of this Versa pack system that they have. But here in this pack system, you can see also that I have my one stick right here. And this is what I would use to climb. Yes, you can one stick climb with the JX3. I just wanted to show you again how you could pack your equipment. If I wanted to carry multiple sticks, I could still do the same thing. If I wanted to carry a platform, which there's no need to carry a platform with the JX3, a ring of steps would suffice very, very easily, or even the top step of your stick, and then a ring of steps if you wanted to do it like that. But again, that's just kind of a quick demonstration of how you can pack gear or whatever you want in between your frame and the seat portion itself. So how hard is it to wear or to put on the JX3 Hybrid? If you've ever worn a backpack, you can wear the JX3. Essentially, I'm going to show you here. Take it like you would a normal backpack, throw it over your shoulder. I'm going to try to be aware of my microphone here on my shirt. I'll drop the chest strap just a little bit. I like to set the chest strap first. That's just me personally. From there, see the contour of the plastic external frame. I like that to be up towards the top of my shoulders. So I'm going to go ahead, use my shoulder straps, pull them in, tighten up my frame just a little bit like that, probably right there. And then of course, I'm going to attach my waist belt, the waist strap down here. Now I don't crank this waist strap, but I do make it a little snug. The reason being is the purpose of an external frame is to transition the weight from off of your shoulders down the frame and onto your waist strap, onto your hips. And when you do all of these together, pull your chest strap in, your sternum strap, that holds your shoulder straps where they need to be. And now you can tighten it. The weight's going down that external frame. It's distributing through that mesh and onto my hips some. And now 11.5 pounds feels like an absolute breeze to carry. Matter of fact, let me say this. I've had some of my friends over here that hunt with the DeQuisto 0.5 and the 1.0, and they've even said, and I've said, that this hybrid carries easier at 11.5 pounds than the tree stands that are 6.5 to 7.5 pounds because of the external frame. Keep that in mind. That's a big deal to me, especially how well it carries. When I pulled this out of the box, I felt the initial weight and I'm like, there ain't no way, I'm not doing it. But then once I put it on, I set the shoulder straps and the waist belt where it needed to be. I'm like, now this is doable. The reason being is because the external frame distributes the weight evenly and proportionately across your back and down to your hips. When you get to the base of the tree and you're ready to climb, the first thing you want to do is attach your lineman's belt. Now, in a future video, I'm going to talk about all of the accessories and how you can accessorize your JX3 Hybrid, and I'll cover dump pouches and different things like that. But for the sake of this video just being an introductory video, I'm going to assume that everybody has a method in which they're carrying their lineman's rope. The first thing you want to do as you get ready to climb the tree is utilize, again, as much safety as you can. Attach your lineman's rope. Now, on the JX3, on the waist belt, the waistband, they have two lineman's loops. These are easily located. You can see them. They have a yellow reflective type material on the inside on both of them. And of course, the lineman's belt that they provide is sufficient enough. Just connect to the lineman's loop on the JX3. I am completely attached at this point in time. I can go ahead and drop my seat portion. And now I'm going to connect my bridge. Once my bridge is attached and my lineman's belt is attached to the tree, I can go ahead and I can start to climb up the tree. Now I'm just utilizing a ring of steps right here, and I'm not going to go out of the frame. But as you can see, just like with a ultralight saddle, you will use the lineman's belt in the same manner. Now I do have my tether already hooked up here. When you get to hunting height, you're simply going to set your tether up on the tree. I prefer a high tether, and then go ahead and connect into your bridge. I'll make sure that I got all the slack taken out of my lineman's rope here. I'll go ahead and disconnect like that. And then all you do is set your weight back into the JX3. and then you can come into the sitting position. For me, I can feel myself right now kind of leaning forward. I like to be perfectly flat when I'm sitting in this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and break this weight a little bit. I'm going to drop my tether down ever so slightly. And right there, I have found the sweet spot. While I'm here, I want to give you some close-ups of this tree fork. This tree fork is perhaps one of the most important aspects of the hybrid system. It's the tree fork that allows you to essentially sit in the saddle or the hybrid saddle and have absolutely zero weight on your knees or on your legs. So here's a close-up of how that works. And of course, with the black knob, if you want to extend it out all the way, you can do that. Tighten the knob, or if you want to come in a little bit closer, you just simply adjust that knob, and now you can come all the way into the tree, which is also very comfortable. You can just fine-tune that per your style. While you're in the hybrid, it is very easy to make adjustments also to the back of the seat portion, changing the pitch of it and increasing your comfort. If I want to just say lean back some, I'm going to loosen up my shoulder straps just a little bit. Right here on the actual hybrid strap, you can simply take your fingers, put them underneath that buckle and break that free, and you can see how far that I can lean back. I can actually go back crazy far. I don't have it with me here in this video, but they have a headrest that mounts to the back of this to where if I'm hunting long days and I just need to take a nap, I'm back and my head is on a headrest. And essentially, the only negative part about that is if you have a dream that you're falling and you wake up and you're 20 feet off the ground, that might be pretty startling. But again, if I want to bring myself back up, I'll just lean up, pull those straps in. Now I'm in a complete up and down position. I find for me, I like to lean back a little bit. I'll find that sweet spot wherever it is. It's a little bit too much. Right there is pretty comfortable for me, even both these sides up. And I found this, that when I draw and I shoot my bow out of the saddle, that I'm not using any core or any strength in the sitting position. So I'm basically stabilized in my shot. And I find that that has brought some pretty good stability to the shot. Let's say you want to stand up and take a shot or utilize the ring of steps and move around the tree. It is as simple as pushing off with your feet like that. As you straighten your legs, it's going to push that seat back. And now I have support on my back, all the way down my waist and all the way down through my thighs as well. So you can shoot in this standing up position really easy. And I'm utilizing a ring of steps, the Bullman ring of steps. I have 4 steps on here. And I want to show you just quickly how easy it is to navigate this telephone pole in the standing up position. If I want to just move around, just like a regular ultralight saddle, I want to keep going around the tree. I have 360-degree movement around this telephone pole. Come back around. We'll take the offside shot here. All day long, you have 360-degree shooting. Now, while I'm here, I do want to point out that you can pivot this bridge in the carabiner. It has a double webbing right here, which makes it a little bit more difficult to pivot in as compared to like Opplux or Amsteel. But you can see that I have now pivoted, and if I turn that and force it even more, I've just pivoted in this carabiner, you know, almost maxed it out. And you can also kind of lengthen and shorten how tight this bridge is, but for the sake of just demonstration, you can see putting the weight in it that I pivot. So again, I'm on the back side of the tree. I can take any of these shots all day. The crazy thing is, when I'm standing up, there is pressure on the bottom part of my thigh right here, but yet there's stability. It's kind of a weird combination. You can feel when I'm pushing off, the seat portion is in the back of my thigh, but at the same time, like, my upper body is completely relaxed and just stable. I got stability all the way down to pretty much the back of my knees right here. Let's talk about the things that you can do to maximize the comfort and your experience while hunting out of the JX3. There are 4 things that you can do to help maximize comfort. Number 1, you can start with raising and lowering your tether height. Again, I prefer a higher tether. What that allows me to do is to, if I want to stand up, if I want to start to maneuver with ease, I'm just using my feet to kind of pivot, and I can do that. With the longer tether, I can navigate the tree 360 degrees. So that is one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is adjust the pitch of the back part of your hybrid here by lowering, like I've already showed you, leaning back, or even raising yourself forward. I like it right about here. The other thing that you can do, the third thing, is adjust your tree fork. Simply take that black knob, you can adjust it all the way out. Now, if you adjust it all the way out, that now, just by doing that, has set me from a kind of a flat position, and it's leaning me forward a little bit. So you can maneuver, mess around with that. Right now, mine's all the way into the tree, and I find that to be pretty comfortable right here, just like that. When you get all 3 of those right, there's absolutely zero pressure on your legs, on your knees, and pretty much on your feet. You are resting in the saddle, or the hybrid saddle itself. So that's very, very comfortable. The other thing that you can do, the 4th thing you can do to maximize comfort, is simply loosen your shoulder straps, undo your chest, go ahead and release yourself of that, and then I'll just fold these up over the back of that frame so that they're completely out of the way. And what that does is it kind of just frees up my shoulders, it gets them out of the way, and now if I need to easily just take a shot, you can shoot with the shoulder straps on. I'm just saying that that kind of just frees you up a little bit, and you still feel safe, because with this top webbing strap right here, it's literally resting right in your lats, and so you don't feel like you're going to fall, you're not going to go anywhere. And from here on out, it's just rest comfortably. I want to point out one more feature that's built into the JX3 system, and that is their bow hanger. Now, you can see right here, these 2 vertical straps that basically hold the seat and everything else together. They have sewn on those straps these Molle webbing, cloth Molle webbing. But right here, you can see that it's not the cloth Molle webbing, but it's actually a typical standard size Molle webbing strap that they have these plastic carabiners clicked onto or set onto. And what that is for is so when you knock your arrow, you can simply take your bow, straddle those clips with your arrow right on your string, and now your bow sits here by your side. And now, when I think of hanging a $1,200 plus bow off of 2 plastic carabiner clips, obviously that raises concern. I talked to John himself, the owner, and they have tested these carabiner clips together well above what a bow's weight actually is, and so I have no concerns about that at this point in time. When a deer comes, minimal movement, you just reach down, simply lift up your bow, and then you're ready for a shot. Now, of course, you can have a bow hanger like you do with a regular saddle as well, but this is just an additional feature built into the JX3. Simply sits right here beside you. I have messed around. You can set your limb down on those, and that will do the same thing. It just probably wouldn't be as efficient to lift it up with 2 hands and then grab the grip as it would if you rested your string on there. All right, guys, this was just one of many videos that's coming to my channel. Again, all under the playlist, Everything JX3 Outdoors. This video was nothing more and nothing less than an introductory video to help minimize the learning curve, also to highlight some of the features of the JX3, and then to bring awareness to a company that is offering something that nobody else is offering. I'm going to be covering how to shoot out of the JX3, how to 1-stick climb with the JX3, rappelling out of the JX3. I'll be covering their VersaPack system, all of their other gear, and dropping it into the playlist, Everything JX3 Outdoors. As always, if there's any questions you have, any videos you would like to see, drop them in the comment section below. And until next time, good luck to you.